What's up everyone, welcome back to day 2 of our coverage of the Taipei Bike Show, brought to you by Panda Podium.cc. Bit of everything today. We've got cranks that claim to give you 50% more power when you're pedaling. We've got $5,000 wheels covered with abalone shells, and we've got 3D printed chamois pads. So yeah, let's jump right in. Another of the local distributors here, Thermaltake. They distribute a bunch of international and local brands over here, and yeah, one of the brands is Stijn Cycles. So you've seen these guys on the show before. I have one of these. I took it to the UK, rode it around for a few weeks. Absolute weapon of a bike, super convenient to travel with. Yeah, I'm going to do my full review on mine coming soon, but yeah, always good to see these things in different colors in the flesh, and yeah, very tidy looking bikes. So here we have another built-up Stijn Cycles bike. You can see this one built up with a bunch of trick parts. Cyber crankset on there with the XKD power meter. Wheels have been converted to disc wheels with these covers to keep things nice and aero. Also the front cockpit keeping things aero with a nice narrow bar. This bar is really nice shape actually, because you can get into aero HUD's position here, and there's a nice place to race here. Obviously with super small wheels and super small frame, I'm guessing this thing is already really aero. Yeah, so this thing looking like a bit of a speed weapon. But they're also the local distributor for Speedwagon, Moods, Tomasini, all of these high-end brands. This Speedwagon here is pretty tasty looking. I do like the paint job on this one. Over on the Aviiav stand, this caught my eye. So Aviiav are a Korean brand actually, but they're usually always out here at the Taipei Bike Show. This is the one that caught my eye because, well, look at it. This is an absolute work of art. Apparently I'm informed that this is a Korean art style called a jage, I believe, if my pronunciation is right. And it's something that they used to do for all of like their furniture or other artworks. And this is basically small slices of abalone shells, which are put onto something and then patterns put on them, and all this handcrafted traditional like artwork style. So this is an absolute bling wheel set. Obviously you hear handcrafted, you hear traditional artwork, not cheap. It's not supposed to be cheap. This is just a, you know, a very bling wheel set. Rough retail for these, $5,000 US. So yeah, a very bling wheel set, possibly the most expensive wheel set I've seen at the show so far. But it's not just the abalone you're paying for. This is the standard version of the wheel without the arty stuff. And these wheels also very impressive stats. So the rims are made in Korea, T1100 carbon fibers, and this version is around 1,245 grams. And then if you add the bling bling, it adds around 100 grams. But so in its own right, a very impressive wheel set. But yeah, if you want the bling version, you got to pay to play. So over on the scope booth, one advantage of these shows is the ability to get up close with the Western brands, the big brands, and see how the big boys do it. Obviously Scope, they've been making waves with their wheels these days. One big part of that is their 3D printed hubs. So for comparison, a really good Chinese wheel set, the hub set probably weighs around 280, 300 grams, but Scope with their 3D printed hubs, you're weighing in at just over 200 grams. So yeah, they're saving 100 grams on the hubs compared to, you know, a Chinese brand wheel set would have. So that lets them make really good wheel sets, obviously good weights, good performance. The price obviously is a lot higher up there. I think 4,000 euros is the current price for the Arctic series. But yeah, you know, you get what you pay for, higher end stuff from the Western brands, and the Taipei Bike Show is just a good chance to put things side to side and see where the differences are and where your difference goes when you're spending your money. So yeah, lots of interesting things here over on the Scope stand. One thing that caught my eye over here on the JE22 stand is their 3D printed inserts for their chamois. So obviously chamois usually traditionally use foam or gel, but they're not breathable. So as you can see, this is 3D printed, and you can see small holes in it, which actually lets it be breathable. But another advantage, they can control the density. So different areas of the pad can give you different amounts of support or different amounts of cushioning. 3D printed from TPU apparently, and their thing is apparently the only ones in the world that can 3D print it with the curve, because obviously your butt is usually curved, and so that's a more natural shape. So yeah, JE22, it's the brand founded by John Ebsen. You might know him as the Taiwan KOM champion for many years in a row. He's also the VP of Factor Bikes, I believe now, so a guy who spends a lot of time in the saddle and obviously wants his nuts to be more comfortable and cooled. Over on the Vision and FSA booth, we have their new Vision Metron wheels. So obviously the Vision Metrons are one of the most popular wheels in the Pro Peloton, and now with carbon spokes. So yeah, carbon spokes have been popular amongst Chinese brands for ages. So obviously lots of the smaller brands have been using carbon spokes for 4 or 5 years now, but now all of the bigger brands are starting to get on top of it. You've seen Roval coming out with their carbon spoke wheels, and now yeah, Vision as well. Stats on these, 60mm deep. These are 1,390 grams for a pair. So again, I think these are kind of like what I call second generation carbon spoke wheels. They're not as light as your Crafts or your FARSPORTS. In the 45mm version, they're 1,290 grams. And so yeah, a comparative like CRW wheel is yeah, almost 100 grams lighter. So yeah, they're going to carbon spokes, but I still think they're a few years behind these more modern thinking brands like the FARSPORTS and the CRWs. So over on the iGPSPORT booth, this is their brand new head unit that they launched last week in China, but also overseas sales have started again. This is the BiNAVI. So this is $299 US dollars, but the thing about this one is just offline navigation. So when you buy it, it's got maps for the whole of the world, and it can do all of your offline navigation. Another feature you can see is this super small bezel. It obviously makes the screen look even bigger. The screen also looks super colorful, super bright, very detailed, nice pixel density, all that good stuff. But yeah, if you're not tied into the Garmin or the Wahoo ecosystem, iGPSPORT's their new high-end head unit, the BiNAVI, yeah, just $299 US dollars. You can't have a visit to the Taipei bike show without a visit to the Merida and Giant stands, two of the local giant brands, pun intended. This Merida here, the Bahrain Victorious version. One thing I saw on this one looking really nice is these yeah, aero fairings, I guess, for the disc brakes. Not sure if these are UCI legal, but they do look fairly nifty on there. Yeah, I'm not sure if you can use them in the races, but looking sleek and yeah, aero touches on this one. Over on the Giant booth, doesn't seem to be anything particularly new or amazing, but they're always timeless TCR, looking very clean in this paint job, and then a Propel behind it as well. So obviously, yeah, these two local bikes, World Tour bikes, good quality bikes. Over here on the JUIN Tech booth, we have this tricked out Brompton G-Line. So it looks like it's had lots of love from JUIN Tech with all these colorful anodized bits. It looks like we've got upgraded brakes on there, upgraded rotors. Looks like the headsets had some love. The brake, the stem cap, the cranks, the chain rings, the jockey wheels, whatever they're called on the Brompton, and the rear brakes as well, all tricked out with JUIN Tech's parts. So yeah, if you've got a Brompton that you want to pimp out, JUIN Tech have got some parts for you. So also on the JUIN Tech stand, we have their ETF series. So obviously JUIN Tech before were pretty well known for their cable actuated disc brakes, but now everyone's gone to hydraulics. So now they've brought out their own range of hydraulic brake calipers too. So 4 pistons on these and a whole bunch of different colors to match your bike or match your color scheme you got going on, and also different heights depending on the size of rotor that you want to use as well. So yeah, in a world that's gone hydraulic, JUIN Tech are trying to stay up with the times. So an interesting product here that has a little bit of controversy around it. So as you can see here, this crank basically spins like this, and then you have this section here which is always at the same angle. Now the inventors or the producers are claiming increased pedaling force by 50%. Yeah, so if you want the full story on this, go check out GP Lama's videos. He's been going on about it on Instagram, but also in his YouTube videos as well. Basically, yeah, there's no free energy device in the world. Obviously, if you make your crank length longer, you're going to get extra torque, which you could claim is force, obviously. But are you going to get extra power? No. And then this one especially, the mechanism to keep this at this angle inside, there is basically a drive shaft going through the middle of the crank arm, and that itself has some drag, obviously, as the gears inside are turning and stuff. This has actually won an award at the Taipei bike show, and yeah, Shane Miller, GP Lama, his thing is that, yeah, by awarding something like this, an award with its claims of increasing pedaling force by 50%, you're essentially taking away the chance from someone else. I guess the way you can claim it increases pedaling force by 50% is because at this angle, if you were to press down here, you only have very little downwards force going through because the angle's small, whereas because now the pedal is here instead, maybe you've got 50% more pedaling force. But even that could be a stretch. So anyway, what do you guys think? Do you guys want to get one of these on your bike and increase your pedaling force by 50%? Let me know in the comments down below. So what is PandaPodium.cc? PandaPodium.cc is my website where I search all of these trade shows, find the best parts and put them on the site for you guys to buy. We've got everything from wheels to frame sets, carbon fiber through axles, TPU inner tubes, everything you can think of. So if you've not checked out before, go on down to the link in the description at PandaPodium.cc. I'll see you over there. This is pretty cool. Looks like we've got some sort of electroluminescence on the back of this frame. Obviously it's the middle of the day right now, we've got big windows there, so if it's this bright in the day you can imagine how bright this is at night. But yeah, great way to increase safety on the bike. Yeah, that's a really bright way to be seen on the road. These ROCKBROS bottle cages that we had on the show a few months back, it seems they've also got an innovation award at the bike show. But yeah, basically just a bottle cage with a built-in tire lever. Walking past the CAPA Cycles booth, and this really caught my eye. This would be the ultimate camera car. So we've got an e-bike with a sidecar. So obviously get some guy to ride it and then sit in the sidecar to get all your video footage. Yeah, this thing would look like it would be the ultimate camera car for getting some cool bike footage. Here at the BTP booth, there's a whole bunch of bar tapes, some very beautiful designs, something to match every bike. Let me know in the comments down below which one you would go for. I think I'm kind of leaning towards these guys over here. Pretty colorful, nice little woven patterns going on. But yeah, you guys let me know which one you prefer in the comments down below. So here on the SUBVERS booth, pretty interesting. Their thing is having e-bikes that don't look like e-bikes and also e-bikes that can turn into normal road bikes. So these two bikes here, this red one, there's the same bike but two setups. The red one is set up in e-bike mode, so you've got the battery here and the motor in the wheel that you can see down there, but no cables showing from the outside. All the cables run through the inside of the bike super clean. And then when it's in non-e-bike mode, as you see over here, you just take the battery off and leave the regular water bottle mounts, and then there's no ugly cables over the place, and the rear wheel you just change out for a normal wheel. So when this is in normal road bike mode, it's just 7-point-something kilos, which is obviously pretty impressive. All the small things of the design are also looking pretty good. This handlebars, quite a funky design. Obviously the wheels are very eye-catching design as well. Parts on the bikes as well, lots of what's what of things that we like over on Panda Podium. For example, we've got the overfast cranks on there, and we've also got the Metron QED groups on here. So yeah, this brand really thinking smart about how to do things, doing things in a bit of a non-traditional way. Apparently got a whole bunch of patents on this, on how it's all set up with all the cables internal and stuff. But yeah, I don't think it's everyone who finds themselves in the solution to need an e-bike and a non-e-bike, but I think for the people who do find themselves in that situation, then this is the best setup out there, because yeah, you can have your e-bike setup, or with just changing a few components, you're back to a normal road bike. So yeah, pretty clever stuff coming from SUBVERS. Also on the SUBVERS stand we have the EVIGORS system. So this has been featured on the channel before, and this is just a system that you can convert any road bike into an e-bike. So yeah, the system comes with the battery as you see it here and the rear wheel. You can also have an optional front wheel to match if you want, but you can just put this in on absolutely any road bike. So if you've got an old road bike or even a new road bike and you want to convert it to an e-bike, the EVIGORS is a good solution. You have one cable that runs from the battery down to the rear wheel, but that's about it. The old version had the head unit at the front to tell you how much battery was left and all that stuff. They've now got rid of that, and it's all controlled by the battery down here and the lights that are on the battery, if I can find a way to turn it on. Yeah, so now it tells you here what resistance level it's in, and also how much battery you got left. So a lot cleaner solution than before. It means you've got no cables on the front of the bike, and yeah, just a cool way to upgrade an existing road bike into an e-bike. So this is the system from EVIGORS. Okay, so many of the brands at the Taipei bike show are here through their distributors. One such brand is FARSPORTS. They're represented here by their local distributor. Obviously FARSPORTS these days, one of the best selling wheels over on Panda Podium ever since they launched their new 2025 wheels at the end of last year. So these are the Evo S5s, so S because they're carbon spokes and 5 for 50mm rim depth. There's no holes in the rim bed, and nice thick carbon spokes, and a very lightweight hub laced 2-to-1. So these wheels, as you see them here, just 1,190 grams, so super lightweight. Optional ceramic speed bearings as well. So yeah, these wheels have been selling like hotcakes, because for the money you're getting a crazy wheel set. If someone had told me a few years ago that you could get a 50mm disc brake wheel set for less than 1,200 grams, I would have thought you were crazy, but now here we are. So yeah, the Evo S5s from FARSPORTS. On the CYCPLUS stand, we have their T7, like all-in-one trainer smart bike. Looks pretty cool. I see it's got the shifters built in, and then on the bike itself you can see what gear you're in. Also a whole bunch of crank length choices, all the way from 150 up to 175, so no matter what crank length you're in, got you covered. Other specs such as resistance and power accuracy, I'm not 100% sure on, but it looks pretty cool, looks pretty stable, nice smart design. Obviously these are getting popular for people into Zwift racing and stuff, but some of the big brands are pretty expensive, so if we can get a more affordable option, that looks like a good thing. So yeah, this is the CYCPLUS T7. Hope to have more information soon. So at the back of the show we have this bike demo area, and then around this area a bunch of tents where brands have their various bikes to come and give them a try. Most of these are for e-bikes, but yeah, all different bikes of shapes and sizes, fat bikes, folding bikes, all sorts of stuff that you can bring in here and give it a test. The loop also goes outside that door, does a big loop of the 4th floor car park, and comes back in here. So yeah, if you want to see how the bike rides, there's also places to ride the bikes here. And like I said, bikes of all shapes and sizes, cargo bikes, a bit of everything going on. So yeah, all going on here at the Taipei Bike Show. Okay, and that's about it for day 2 of the Taipei Bike Show. We'll be back tomorrow with day 3. Still plenty to cover in these halls as we zigzag back and forwards looking for diamonds amongst the rough. But yeah, if you did like this video, if you made it this far, give it a thumbs up, much appreciated. Let me know in the comments down below what you want to see in the next few days. I've still got 2 days of searching the show floor, and I can help find what you guys want to see. So yeah, let me know in the comments down below what you guys want to see, and I'll see you tomorrow. China Cycling out.